Okay, review for Unit 2. Most of this is just solving equations. Solve the equation. The first 2 units we go over, the tests are not long. Okay, they'll start getting longer as we go. -6 plus x equals -12. Your job is to solve the equation for x. So if x is on one side, make a wall. And know your operations, just a plus. If it's just a plus or just a minus, we're going to just circle the x. Because all I have to do is get that -6 to a 0 by going forward 6, which means adding 6 and adding 6. Not adding -6, adding 6. When we do this stuff underneath here, when I say get it to 0, you're either plussing the number or minusing the number. There's going to be no negative to it. Okay? So -6 plus 6 is 0. Then we have x. If I'm at -6 and 12 and move 6 forward, that's -6. Okay, next problem. -5x equals -35. Wall. There's no sign, so that means times. That's the only operation we have. So when I have times or divide, I do the opposite, which is divide by the exact same factor. Taking anything in x, multiplying it, and dividing it by the same factor means I'll just have x by itself. And then negative divided by negative is a positive, that would be 7. Okay, next one. 8 minus 2x equals -16. Good, like your wall. So you got a minus, I would make that a plus negative so I don't miss it. And that's a times. Circle the times or divide operation. Because now you can look outside and say, okay, well there's an 8. We have to get that to 0 by moving backwards 8. 8 minus 8 is 0. We got -2 times x. -16 minus 8 is -24. Then we divide by -2. Okay, that's 12. Next one, 17 equals x minus 3 minus 3x. Now, you can, it's a complicated equation, but you can at least make your wall, okay? So you got x minus plus negative, minus plus negative, and then times. Now you see x over here twice, so you need to make your wall. So you put a multiplier 1 there. Okay, so you have these 2 numbers multiplied by x. Those need to be added. 1 plus -3, 1 backward 3 is -2. Plus the -3. Now, remember, you're only on this side. -3, you're looking at this side. That's why I make the wall. -3 to 0 is forward 3, so adding 3, and move forward 3 on that side. So that gives us 20, and then -2 times x. Now think, -2 times what number would give me 20? Well, let's divide and find out. So we have, that's going to be -10 there, and then x here. There we have it. X equals -10. Okay, I'll be using 2 boxes for these next 3 problems because they have parentheses, and I need to show you how it's distributed. Same way it always has been. I just don't want to start rattling off numbers without you guys seeing where they come from. Okay, I got a parentheses. Let's look at what's in the outside. Let's look at what's in the parentheses. 2 times, the minus should be plus negative. Now outside you got the -2. You need to distribute that. So -2, -2. Again, whenever a parentheses has 2 numbers added, one multiplied by x, one not, you need to make 2 distributions from the outside. So times 2 times x and times -1. First you go in front of the plus, then you go behind the plus. That's going to be -4 with x, and that's going to be 2. So I line up my equals, and that's going to be -4x plus 2. Then you can get rid of the parentheses and the number you multiplied into it with 14 hanging here. Now you can make your wall because x is just there, so you got times and plus 2. Get your 2 to a 0 by going backwards 2, minusing 2, backwards 2 from the 14. So I line up my equals and we have 12. And then just negative 4 times x. Negative 4 times what's 12? Well, I'm guessing it's some type of 3. Let's divide by negative 4 and figure it out. Negative 3. Okay, next one. We have 5, parentheses x minus 4 equals 7, parentheses 2x plus 1. So we got to see about the parentheses. So this would have a multiplier of 1 minus plus negative 4. So I have two things added together. One's multiplied by x, one isn't, so I have to distribute my 5. Two things added together, one's multiplied by x, one isn't. I have to distribute the 7. So I got 5 times 1 times x times negative 4. This is going to be 5x negative 20. So I line up my equals and I've got 5x plus negative 20. So I cross out the parentheses and the 5, nothing else is over there. So now I move here. 7 is the multiplier, times the 2 times the x and times the 1. So it's going to give us 14x and 7. So 14x plus 7. See you, Mr. Parentheses, and the 7. Nice knowing you. Nothing else is on that side. Okay, now we cannot make the wall. I can't draw that separation line because we got x's on both sides. So I'm going to get that 5 to a 0. I'd have to go backwards by 5. So minus 5x, put the x with it, and then minus 5x from 14. So that's 0 and negative 20. Some people write 0x. Don't write 0x, because even though you don't know x, anything times 0 is 0. Means it's wiped out. 14 minus 5 is 9x plus 7. Now I can make the wall. We got times and plus. Get rid of the number not multiplied by x first. You would go backwards 7, so minus 7. Negative 20 backwards 7 is negative 27, 9 times x, and of course 7 backwards 7 takes us to 0. Now I'd get rid of the times operation by dividing by 9. So negative 3 equals x. Okay, let's keep it rolling. We've got 4 x minus 5 equals 2, parentheses 2x plus 1. Okay, so in the parentheses we got 2 times x and plus 1. So we got a number not multiplied by x, a number that is, so we have to distribute the outside. 2 times 2 times x times 1. So that's 4x, that's 2. Parentheses gone, so is a 2, and over here you got 4x minus 5. Now you can't make the separation wall because you got x's on each side, but they're this time they're the same. So guess what I get to do? Cross them out. So that means it's all solution or no solution. If these numbers are equal, it's all solutions. If they're not, no solution. So no solution because they're not equal. Okay, next problem, x negative 2 plus 7 equals 12. Don't need two boxes here. Okay, separation line could come here. We most definitely have a division operation, so I want to circle that, and then the plus 7. Okay, 7 has to be taken to 0 by going backwards 7. So that is 5. Now, what number divided by 2 is 5? Well, to find out, we have to multiply by the negative 2. taking an x and timesing it and dividing it by the same number is just x. Those cancel. And then 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. You can always check your answer on that. X divided by negative 2, I think we have negative 10, so I'll divide that by negative 2 and I'll add 7. Hopefully it equals 12, and it does. Okay, next one. X divided by negative 4 equals 7. Wall, all you have is the divided by. So you don't have to get anything to 0. What number divided by into 4 parts is 7? Well, how about I multiply to find out? Negative 4, negative 4. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. Okay, next one. Negative 3/4 x equals 18. That's a fraction, okay, so I don't count that as division. And then times the x. So really you just have times. So 3/4 times what is 18? How about you divide to find out by negative 3/4? Now if you did 18 divided by negative 3ABC4 on a calculator, it's going to be negative 24. If you're dead set against doing that, you can make your 18 into an 18 over 1, write a multiplication, but then you'd have to flip it to 4 over negative 3. So that's 72 over negative 3. A positive divided by a negative is a negative, which gives me 24. Okay, then story problems. You have $85 in your bank account. You plan to deposit. Deposit means plus $30 per week into the account. How many weeks from now we have $175? So weeks equals. Okay, so you have dollars and weeks. X is the time, Y is the money. So per dollars per week. $30 per week, that's positive because your deposit means you add, okay? Adds money into the account. So weeks and dollars, so 0, 1, 2. Okay, now before $30 per week, we start with 85, then we start adding 30, so that's 115, 145. Just one line suffices. The ladder starts at 85 plus 30 times x equals y. So the equation is 85 plus 30 times x equals y. Okay, now weeks. I'm solving for the weeks, so I am solving for my x. Means I need to put a number in for y. And I have $175 is what I want to figure out the weeks for. So now that we have an equation, we put 175 in for y. 85 plus 30 times x equals 175. Don't put that in parentheses because there's no operations with it. The operations are all over here, plus and times. Get your 85 out of there. You got to get 85 to 0. You would subtract 85. 30 times x, that's 90. Divide by 30. Divide by 30, and x is 3. So 3 weeks. Kind of obvious because then the next week would be 3, and add another 30 is 175. So. Okay, last one. An office manager spent $648 on a new energy-saving copier. The copier will cost $88 per month for electricity. The old copier is obviously paid for, but it costs $112 per month for electricity. And how many months will the copier pay for itself? Basically, that's asking you when would the cost of the old copier equal the cost of the new copier. Okay, that's weirdly worded. Okay, so we got dollars and months. Once again, easy to identify the labels. So X, Y. Dollars per month. $88 per month here. That's your new copier. and then the old copier there. Now you're either going to be paying for one or the other. You're deciding whether you should get a new one or not. You're not going to have two copiers, so don't add those together. It's 88 times x, 112 times x. So that would be two tables. So x, y, months, money, months, money. 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. Alright, so before the 88, he's going to pay $648 for the copier itself. Then he adds $88 for the energy cost. So $648 plus 88, $736. So after 1 month, that's what it costs. After 2 months, another 88 gets added on, $824. Okay, now the guys with the 112 per month, there's no beginning cost, so it starts at 0. They paid for that years ago. They're not keeping track of that, but it goes up by 112. So 112, add another 112, 224. And eventually the cost will end up the same. To find when, let's make our ladder. We start at 648 here. We start at 0 here. Here I'm adding the $88 every month. That equals my cost, y. Here I'm adding the $112 per month. Okay, as long as you line that up into an equation, we'll be able to solve it. So on one side, we're going to take our new copier, the expression for the cost of the new copier, 648 plus 88 times x. Then our old copier, the 0 we don't need, we're just going to put 112 times x. Okay, so you have x's on both sides, okay. Let's get that plus 88 to 0, so 88 back to 0 minus 88 times x minus 88 times x. So you get 648. 112 minus 88 is 24 times x. So you just have to divide. Okay, 27.